Welcome back, Sethling here. I'm in the 12W34B snapshot to show you a kind of a cool idea I had. And what we've got here is a WitherBoss. WitherBoss, that's the new mob in the snapshot. It's not in the game yet, but if you play around with Minecraft a little bit, you can get it to appear. So this is a WitherBoss, and what I've got is basically I'm using the WitherBoss as sort of a timer. So if you look at the top of the screen, his hit points are slowly going down, and the WitherBoss has 300 hit points. Each time that wood block comes down and suffocates him, it will cause 1 damage. So, the clock here is tuned so that every 2 seconds that will come down. So 300 times 2 seconds is 600 seconds, or 10 minutes. So so it'll take 10 minutes for this guy to go from full health all the way to dead. So this is a timer that you could use for, say, a PvP map that needed a timer, or an adventure map, or basically anything you need a timer for, and it's handy to have that timer at the top of the screen, which is pretty cool. We joined it in progress. You'll notice the bar fills up when I look over here, so I want to kind of explain why that is. Basically, if I look away entirely, it's going to go away. You have to sort of be looking at the WitherBoss in order for the bar to show up at the top. So I wanted to experiment with under what situations you get the bar. If you had multiple WitherBosses, how would that work? So basically, it picks a priority for the WitherBosses. It's kind of in the order that it loads them, but this WitherBoss is the one that gets higher priority. So basically, the idea is if I had a map and I wanted to show the time, and I want it to be no matter where the player looked, I wanted them to be able to see the time. I would have to synchronize both of these, which isn't hard. I would just use the same signal to turn the clock on and off. I can turn the clock off like this, and then I turn it back on like that. I would use the same signal to control both of these clocks, and then the WitherBosses would both take the same amount of damage. And if I'm in the middle, then pretty much no matter which way I look, I would see the same timer in all directions, which is pretty cool. You don't actually have to be able to see the WitherBoss, you just have to be looking in its direction. So I still get the bar at the top, even though I can't directly see it right now. So that does work. So you don't have to be able to see it or hear the piston or anything. So it just works as a nice timer that goes at the top of the screen, no matter where you are. Yeah, while I'm waiting for that to go down a little bit lower, because I have something else to show you. This is kind of cool. I have a floating sword spawner here, and it's actually zombies with invisibility potion effects, holding swords, but still kind of neat. And yeah, they just spawn with a really, really long invisibility effect. These guys actually are also wearing a block of stone as their hat, and have fire protection potions, so that if they go out in the sun, they won't have the burning animation, they won't take any burning damage, because if a zombie's wearing a hat now, it doesn't burn, instead the item takes damage. Anyway, that's kind of something cool to show you while I waste time and wait for that health bar to go down a little bit lower. Ooh, looks like he is enraged. This is a new thing in the snapshot. But that doesn't really matter for us, for our purposes. One of the cool things about this is if you use Potions of Harming, which I have in here, Splash Potions of Harming 2, that'll actually heal the WitherBoss by 12 health, which is, each health is 2 seconds in this system, so that's 24 seconds. So if you have like a checkpoint, or something where you want to add time to the timer, you just add it right there, and that'll heal him back up, and that increases the amount of time on the clock. And you could use health potions if you wanted to take time off the clock too. By the way, I've filled up this dispenser. These people have asked me how I've done this, how I've made them have infinite potions in them. There aren't actually infinite potions here. If I actually pull out one of the stacks, you'll see there's 122. What I've done is I've filled them up to 127 with a MC edit filter I call fill dispensers. And that's something I use a fair amount, but I just haven't ever released it publicly before. So you can download the Fill Dispensers MC Edit filter from the link in the video description. And that will fill stacks up to 127 or whatever you want, and it'll also fill empty spots with items if you so choose. So that's useful. Definitely, I use that a ton because I like to have dispensers with as many things as possible, and that's pretty good. So this is just sort of a proof of concept for this timer system. I do intend to use this in a map that I'm working on as a round timer, so that should be really cool. I really like that you can have that ongoing timer on everyone's screen without I don't know, you could use command blocks to spam it in the chat or something, but this is just much easier to see, and you have a visual representation of everything. So it's pretty cool. I'm liking this. The only thing that I need really to make this work perfectly is once the guy dies, I actually have no way of bringing him back. I could use a mob spawner, but it's going to be hard to get that to work like you want it to, because you have to have a player within 16 meters of the mob spawner in order for it to spawn. So what I really need is a spawn egg. So I'm I'm hoping that comes out soon, because I would really like to use this WitherBoss timer in a map. So I hope they add the spawn egg soon. But it's a pretty cool thing, and if you just have like a one-time map, for sure this will work very well as a timer that everyone can see. Now, if you get too far away, it'll stop showing the bar at the top. But you have to get pretty far before it stops. You have to get like 80 blocks away or something, and it's kind of like a sphere, I think. Well, no, maybe it's more of a square. I still haven't figured out exactly how it works, but so you would need, if you have a large map, you might need a few of these or whatever, but it has a big enough range that it is actually very practical, and you can get it far enough away that you won't hear the piston sound going off every once in a while. So very cool, very cool. I'm happy with this. So hopefully get the spawn egg thing, because that will be critical to my plans for the map that I'm working on. But if not, maybe you can use it in your own maps. Well, that's about it. Thanks for watching.